Hello, my name is Lori Ann Lumbie, and this is Soul School, and this is our Soul Lessons mini course offering. In this week's mini lesson, Soul Lesson, I want to talk about anger. Specifically, I want to talk about the different kinds of anger and how anger is not something to be judged, but something to be understood. And that authentic, healthy anger has a place in our lives, and that it is not anger itself that is to be judged, but it is what we do with that anger. So in one of our recent lessons, we talked about grief. Anger is a face of grief. It is one of the processes and experiences that we have as we are healing from a loss. Anger, as a face of grief, acts as a defense mechanism, if you will. It's right and appropriate to be angry when someone we love has been taken away, when something that we enjoyed is passing out of our lives. It's okay to feel frustrated and even impatience in the face of that loss. This anger can be a motivating force that gets us moving, that gets us unstuck, that helps us move past the depression stage of grief and into action. That anger is also protecting us. It's protecting us from the deep pain of the wound, because we know that underneath that anger is sorrow. So one of the kinds of angers to understand is the anger that is a face of grief. And when we are feeling enraged, to ask ourselves, is this anger as grief, or is it a different kind of anger? A second kind of anger is what I call righteous anger. It's the anger that arises in the face of injustice. It's an anger that's appropriate. It's appropriate to feel angry when we see someone being treated unjustly, or we are being unjustly treated ourselves. That anger is appropriate because it is calling us to respond. It's calling us to do something about that injustice. Maybe we speak out against it. Maybe we get involved in action groups that are helping to solve or find solutions for that injustice. Maybe we're a person that protests. Maybe we vote differently. Maybe we write letters to those causing the injustice. Maybe if we are there witnessing the injustice, we say something. We step out in defense of those who are being treated unjustly. Righteous anger in the face of injustice is a force of motivation. It's appropriate and it's right to be angry when we are seeing someone treated in any other way than with love. The third kind of anger that I want to talk about today is what I call, well, it's resentment. I don't call it that, everyone calls it that. Resentment, this is the little unknown thing about resentment. We often hear or are tempted to judge ourselves when we're feeling resentment, because we're told that it's not right to harbor resentment, that resentment is anger turned inward and it can cause us harm. But in truth, resentment is simply a biochemical reaction to our needs not being met. Let me say that again. It's a biochemical reaction to our needs not being met. It's that simple. It's our soul rising up in defense of our needs. That resentment that is rising up inside of us, well, first of all, we've never been taught what to do with that resentment. We've either witnessed people projecting that resentment out onto others, seeking to cause harm to another because of that resentment, or turning that resentment in on themselves, harboring it, cultivating it, nurturing it like Gollum's ring. Resentment is simply a signal. It's a signal from our body that says, you have a need here that's not being met. That's all. It's that simple. You have a need here that's not being met. So we then have to decide what to do with that. The easiest thing to do is to ask for our need to be met. To say, I'm feeling this biochemical reaction in my body that's telling me I have a need that's not being met right now. Ask ourselves, what is that need? And then either meet that need ourselves or engage the people around us in helping us, in supporting us and helping us to get that need met. It is that simple. Resentment is a flag. It's a signal from the body saying, you have a need that's not being met. Now, getting our needs met is sometimes easier said than done. We don't always have people around us that are supportive in helping us get our needs met. So from that perspective, naming and claiming our need can provide an opportunity for us to know where we stand in a relationship. If the person that we are inviting in as a source of support in helping us get our needs met, not to meet the need themselves, but to help and support us in getting that need met, if they refuse, they may not be a person that you want to continue to have in your life. People that love and care for us will willingly be a source of support in helping us find ways to get our needs met, in the same way that we are happy to be a source of support for others. Now, this is not the same as the need-meeting function in codependency. In codependency, we expect other people to do things for us, or we are busy doing things for others instead of empowering them to find ways to get those needs met themselves. So we've discussed 3 different kinds of anger. Anger in the face of grief, anger in the face of injustice, and anger as resentment in response to our needs not being met. The anger in and of itself is not a problem. The question is, what do we do with that anger? Are we projecting it outwards and causing harm to others? Are we harboring it and causing harm to ourselves? Or are we finding meaningful and productive ways to either engage that anger or transform that anger as a source of our own loving support. I'm Lori-Ann Lumby, and this was Soul Lessons. If you found this video to be helpful, supportive, please like and share. Please subscribe to this channel. And if you're interested in finding out more about what we have to offer at Soul School, online courses, one-on-one mentoring, books, Reiki, Gnostic Tarot, lots of other resources and tools to help you in the journey of your own soul's unfolding. You can find out more at my website, www.loriannlumby.com. And again, this is Soul Lessons. Thank you.